Good morning, Pleasant Hill. Good morning, Pleasant Hill. Amen. What a blessing it is to be here again with this wonderful group of young men and young women who believe that God has marked your lives for some great and powerful things. And we thank God for Miss Carmen and for Miss Jessie and for all of the teachers and staff here that have been so diligent in making sure that you all have a powerful spiritual emphasis week. So let's give it up for the staff here. Come on. Today, since we are continuing in this understanding of identity, I want to talk about something today in that same vein. I want to speak from the subject, don't forget who you are. Don't forget who you are. I believe I was here Monday and I said, and I gave you a definition for what identity is. One of the things that I think is important for us to know is identity gives you a clearer sense of who you are. Say that again. Identity gives you a clearer sense of who you are. Without an identity, there is no understanding of who I am. Without an identity, there is no understanding of who I am. And if I don't know who I am, guess what I'll do? I'll try to figure it out. But here's the problem. The problem is when you try to figure out who you are outside of what God has said, you will normally do things that God does not intend for you to do. When you try to discover and figure out who you are outside of God, then you will live your life, hear me what I'm going to say, you will live your life experimenting with your life. What happens when people experiment with their lives? They end up more broken, they end up more hurting, they end up more confused, they end up with more problems, and they end up in a place mentally, emotionally, and spiritually that is not good for them. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the reason why your leaders and your teachers have taken this moment, this time to make sure that within the emphasis, spiritual emphasis week this week, that there is an understanding of what your identity is. The reason why this is important is because the Bible tells us in the book of Romans chapter 12, Romans chapter 12, the Apostle Paul says, and be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, so that you can prove what is that good, acceptable, and perfect will of God. That's Romans chapter 12 and verse 2. And be not conformed, one translation says, to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Now, the word conform means to take on a pattern or an identity that is not original. That's what that means. To take on an identity or to take on a pattern that is not original. So when you live your life trying to be like everybody else, what you are becoming is just a cheap carbon copy. That's all you're becoming. When you live your life trying to fit in with everybody else, when you live your life trying to do what everybody else does, you are taking on an identity that really does